everyone? It's Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all been having a great Friday, great into your week. We're going to break down the potential for a winter storm here in the southeast again, mainly talking about North Carolina, Virginia. And we're going to talk about the southern end of this storm. Obviously, this is going to be a major East Coast snowstorm for a lot of the big cities, including Washington, D.C. Y'all, we're going to break y'all snowless drought here. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to break that down here in a later video, probably tomorrow. But there's a potential for an ice storm in North Carolina into Virginia. We're going to talk about that. And there's an ice threat outside of the mountains. So we're going to break all that down. If you guys haven't subscribed, great opportunity to do so. It's just a great way to support me. My growth has been awesome, and I just appreciate it. Y'all help me live out a mini dream of mine, so it's much appreciated. I'm very active on Twitter right there and Facebook, and definitely follow along, like the video, share it if you do. I've also been doing a new thing in my videos where drop a prayer down. If you want somebody to think about you, to pray about you. If it's unspoken, just say it's unspoken. I love an opportunity to pray for y'all. I'm trying to use my platform in a way to value me being a Christian and just to reach out to you guys. So thank you all for sharing that with me. So let's break down the reason why you click this video, and that's to talk of the weather here. So we're going to look at the National Weather Service and the watches and the warnings here. Obviously, the winter storm watches are showing up here in the mid-Atlantic and the mountains. We're going to get a little bit closer view here. National Weather Service in Greenville, Spartanburg, Hickory, Asheville, close to Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, you're going to get winter weather out of this. You're just not in a winter storm watch right now. Boone. This is just a classic CAD setup here where you got cold air damming is going to have an opportunity really for winter weather in these areas. National Weather Service in Blacksburg, Virginia, Roanoke, Mount Airy, just north of Winston-Salem and Greensboro. But like I said, y'all are going to see winter weather up to Charlottesville. Very active times here. And we're going to look all the way to National Weather Service in Wakefield, Virginia. So not quite all the way to Norfolk and Virginia Beach, but pretty close. Charlottesville. I think I've already mentioned them, but you know, good. This is going to be a big Virginia storm, so we're going to really talk about that. The first thing I want to show you, I want to start off with a bang. If you guys don't know this site and you're a big weather fan, definitely think about joining Southern Weather. And just type in Southern WX. It's just a great group of people that I've learned from, and they talk weather about the southeast, the south, and it's just an awesome site. And I'm going to show a couple photos, a couple animations here from this. So somebody in here posted this. This is the European run, the last 3 runs. Each run is, each time you see it trend more south, you see the icy. This is the latest 18Z European model, and it's trended more and more south. The freeze and rain is showing up more and more south. So this is really turning into a potential, just a potential right now. We're going to know a lot more overnight into tomorrow about this ice threat. But really, in this section right here, the Triad of North Carolina into western areas of the Triangle, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Hickory, maybe Lincolnton, inching into Shelby County. This is Asheville. This has a chance, maybe just north of Raleigh. Ice scenario setting up. The Euro is trending more icy. So we're going to look at the GFS and kind of really get a more broad view of what's going on with this. So here comes our system. Low pressure is too far north. High pressure is too far north also, and not strong enough. It's just, it feels a little bit stronger maybe, but you really need this thing sitting right here. You need the high pressure sitting right here. You need at least a decent strength. The 1035, the 1040 is obviously awesome. But you had a high pressure sitting right here, a little bit stronger. This would be a more widespread winter storm, even deeper into South Carolina. But you notice it's moving in. Look at this wave of winter weather, and I'm going to show you this on the short range models too, because it's doing a good idea showing it. But the GFS is picking on it too. So I'm talking about tomorrow, around this time actually, a little band of snow before the main event could work its way into parts of North Carolina and Virginia. And it's going to be cold enough, the ground's going to be cold enough from right now, last night and tonight, that it's going to have a chance to put a dusting on the ground before the main ice event comes through. So this moves through, a CAD sets up, cold air damming, you got enough influence, high pressure here, but you also got a low pressure working a little too far north it's too far north to drag enough cold air into the storm to make it a widespread wedge event and winter storm for the Carolinas. So GFS obviously has a big time snow event for Virginia and Washington D.C. and it moves up, but we're not going to talk much about this part of the storm. I'm gonna have a video about this part of the storm tomorrow probably, so y'all hang tight with that. We're going to break down you guys up north too. But we're going to look at the HRRR model. And it only goes out 48 hours, the latest long range. The next long range is actually going to come out within the next hour. So this is actually a little late, but from a little earlier. But here comes this band of snow I'm talking about. So this is tomorrow around 7 o'clock. I know it's showing green, but this really has a chance to be a little bit of snow. And it's just like the tail, the front. I wouldn't call it a frontal band or anything like that. It's just the energy off this system. A piece of energy just going to move through. But as we get a little deeper into the night, we're starting to get deeper into the evening, closer to midnight. This is just an all-out band of snow working its way outside of the mountains, even reaching maybe Raleigh. So tomorrow around this time, mark my word, there's going to probably be some kind of moisture right here, and it might be in the form of snow, and it's just going to be a quick hitter. The band's probably not going to last no more than an hour. But it might drop a quick burst of snow that might cover the ground. The ground's pretty cold right now because of the last several nights of cold temperatures that we've had, and it hasn't gotten that warm the last couple of days. So this has a chance to really cool the column, drop a quick burst of snow, and it moves through. And here comes our main system. Heavy snow breaking out in the mountains. Obviously, it's just a favorite area, but here it comes. It shows freezing rain here in the Triad. It's very close here in the northern areas of North Carolina, and it's moving through. And look, and we're going to talk about dew points. Dew points are a huge part of the storm because you're going to have some pretty cold dew points ahead of the storm that's going to introduce an area of what you call strong evaporative cooling. And it's going to be able to cool the column down and really have a chance to, say if we're 40 degrees or something, or 35, we have a chance to cool the temperatures down big time because the dew points have to meet the temperature somewhere in the middle. It's called wet bulb. But here comes a freezing rain threat outside the mountains. Something we need to watch. HRRR is very aggressive, but not as aggressive as the NAM, and I'm about to show you this, but this shows a prolonged area of freezing rain, possibly sleet, in the Triad area. And let me tell you, the CAD, cold air damming, tends to be stronger and lasts longer than what any models show. So this is going to be interesting. Check out the heavy snow getting into Washington, D.C. And this is all for Sunday morning. So the storm's going to move in overnight tomorrow into Sunday. And then we get going through time. And obviously it starts to turn all rain as the CAD erodes. But when will the CAD erode? That's the big question here. So here comes snowfall according to the HRRR. It picks up on this band, light dusting maybe from this band. I don't even think would have time to melt because it's going to be so chilly. It's going into overnight, but here comes the snow breaking out into Virginia. And this is going to be some good snow ratios too because it's going to be pretty cold up here. But drop several inches in the mountains, and look at Charlottesville, Roanoke. All into Washington, D.C., this is getting close. It's a big-time snowstorm, and this is the beginning of it. Several inches, half a foot, over half a foot. So here comes the NAM. We're going to look at this, too. The NAM, the latest NAM. Here comes that band. This has the chance to be a nice burst of snow. And it's showing that band, too. It doesn't show it as far south, but it shows it. It's there. This thing could make it all the way to northern areas of Mecklenburg County. So it's going to be interesting. For sure, where this band sets up, I think this is a very interesting piece of this storm and part of the storm for sure. And we're going to watch to see what this does. And that band kind of falls apart, and here comes the main system. But look how south the freezing rain is on the NAM. It's all the way down into Charlotte, even inching into Rock Hill. This is going to be a raw Sunday morning anywhere in the southeast as you're getting going and going to church. It's just going to be nasty weather. And it just shows an all-out ice storm in the Triad of North Carolina, and even getting into areas of central North Carolina. This is a nasty situation if this unfolds. And I'll be honest, the NAM does a decent job at showing cold air damming. So this is a pretty significant ice storm if the NAM holds true here. So this is NAM, and I got this off Pivotal Weather here. This is the NAM ice totals, guys. That's over a quarter inch, a stripe of over a quarter inch of ice in the Triad of North Carolina. This is warning criteria. This is ice storm warning criteria, and this is a damaging ice storm showing up on the NAM. Will it happen? I don't think it'll be this aggressive. And I meant to pull up a National Weather Service blend that basically shows a lot more it mainly shows freezing rain advisory criteria, kind of ice totals, but this is something we need to watch. And trends from now till about midday tomorrow, until about this time tomorrow, is going to be big on how much, what this occurs exactly. But this is the dew points ahead of the storm. If we fast forward to around when that band moves through, you can actually see the band moisten the column a little bit off the NAM. Rises the dew points, but then the dew points as the main system moves through are very cool. They're in the 20s and teens, so moisture moves in on top of this, and it has a chance to cool down. Obviously, dew points rise as moisture comes through. That's what happens. It moistens up the air. But that is a classic looking CAD look here, so it's definitely something we need to watch out for. This is another model I want to show. I normally don't show these other models that don't really get the respect the other ones do, but you know, there's a reason, because a lot of times they aren't accurate. But this is the RGEM model. It does okay. It's not great, but it shows ice scenario and sleet much further south. So this is the scenarios we have to watch out for, because these short range models are in view now of the storm, and we have to pay attention to them too. So this is the map I made. You probably saw it on the thumbnail. It's very generic. I'm going to probably make another one tomorrow that breaks it down, the totals I'm thinking. But for now, I'm going to leave it at this. So in the blue, and you can go on and cut off this area right here, I think. I don't think it's going to go this far into Tennessee, but really you cut it off right here. Major winter storm, not major, but you get what I'm saying, a winter storm in the blue area. The pink area, I think, has an ice storm potential, mainly in this area right here. Definitely has a chance for an ice storm, and I think there's some icing potential that you have to kind of leave on the table for Charlotte to Raleigh, but you got to give the NAM some respect and leave that opportunity open for the possibility of some light icing. And when I say light icing, I'm saying below 1/10 of an inch, which isn't that very significant. So, and I got a circled area. Back in flurries, there's going to be basically an upper level low that's going to pull through this behind this storm that I think is going to have some chance to throw some back end moisture behind this system. So I don't think that would occur obviously Sunday. I think if that's going to happen, it's going to happen Monday. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can get some snow showers breaking out around Raleigh in the same areas that kind of saw snow a few days ago. So that's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll definitely keep y'all updated on the storm, because this has an ice storm potential written all over it. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll have another update tomorrow.